Hi, it's me, Thrill, and it's time to explore. Explore the wonders of the world with me.
Few places on earth look like storybook illustrations and something out of a fairy tale, and Neuschwanstein Castle is one of them. If you're looking to feel or live out a fairy tale with its towers, turrets, frescoes, and throne hall, then you should definitely come with me to Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, the enchanting European palace that has inspired actual fairy tales. But the story behind this over-the-top palace nestled in the Bavarian Alps is less than perfect. So first, let's get into the history. King Ludwig II of Bavaria commissioned the cliffside castle in 1868 after his short-lived reign as king, and just 2 years after Austria and Bavaria were conquered by Prussia during the Austro-Prussian War, sometimes called the 7 Weeks' War, forcing Bavaria to accept an alliance with the empire. King Ludwig II of Bavaria essentially lost his power. It is thought that Neuschwanstein Castle became the centerpiece of Ludwig II's imagined kingdom, where he could act as a true royal. Ludwig II unfortunately never saw the final Neuschwanstein. According to Bavarian castle administration, he died in 1886 and the final towers weren't completed until 1892. But within weeks of his sudden and mysterious death, the magnificent castle was opened to the public and quickly became one of the region's most popular attractions. Today, Neuschwanstein Castle is one of the most visited castles in the world. Now, let's get into what makes this place truly charming. Neuschwanstein Castle, which literally translates to Neuschwanstein Castle, is located in the Bavaria region of southeastern Germany. It was originally called Neuschwanstein Castle, as it was meant to be a grand recreation of Hohenschwangau Castle, where Ludwig II spent his childhood. While visiting, you must first travel to the village of Hohenschwangau, where the ticket center is located. According to plans, the castle was meant to have more than 200 rooms, but just over a dozen were finished before funds for the project were cut. Estimates put the total square area at roughly 65,000 square feet. Neuschwanstein Castle, with its white limestone facade and deep blue turrets, is rumored to be real-life inspiration for the castle in the Disney classic Cinderella, released in 1950. The resemblance, after all, is striking. But there's another Disney castle that looks quite a bit like Neuschwanstein as well, Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland. Before Walt Disney began constructing his California theme park, he and his wife took a trip to Europe, and that included a stop at Neuschwanstein Castle. If you're wondering what you can see or do while visiting Neuschwanstein Castle, well, I got you. One of the highlights of a visit to any castle, aside learning the history, is of course seeing the interiors and truly immersing yourself in the history and taking a trip back in time. And the Neuschwanstein Castle offers just that. Few rooms in the castle capture Ludwig's obsession with being king quite as well as the throne room, a 2-story space highlighting the majesty of Byzantine churches, and is finished with a 13-foot tall chandelier, a painted cupola, and elaborate floor mosaics. Ironically, there was never an actual throne in this space. Despite Ludwig's grand plans, only 14 rooms are currently finished, and on view for visitors. On the guided tour of Neuschwanstein Castle's interior, you will have access to the cave-like grotto, the king's bedroom, the singer's hall, and the dressing room, which includes the magnificent ceiling painting and murals illustrating the works of poet Walter von der Vogelweide and Hans Sachs. The entire room is finished in rich gold and violet silks, amongst other interesting parts of the castle. Other highlights beyond the castle's walls is the Marienbrücke, the bridge which hangs over a waterfall and offers the most iconic views and photo opportunities, of course, of Neuschwanstein Castle. After your tour, be sure to spend time checking out the wooden trails around the castle, which provides countless opportunities to admire the surrounding Bavarian Alps. Now, how much does it cost to tour the castle? Neuschwanstein Castle tickets cost 17.50 euros, which is about 30,000 naira for adults and includes a guided tour at a specified hour. Tickets for visitors under 18 are just 2.50 euros, and that is about 4,000 naira, and there are also reduced entry prices for seniors, students, and large groups. Tickets must be purchased at the ticket center in Hohenschwangau, though they can be reserved online, and this is particularly helpful during peak season and holidays when they can sell out very easily. Best time to visit? Whether bounded by snow-covered peaks or gleaming white in the summer sun, there is no bad time to visit Neuschwanstein Castle. But with around 6,000 tourists streaming through the region every day, you may at least want to avoid the peak summer months, July and August. If possible, schedule your tour on a weekend or plan your visit in the off-season, which is springtime around March or April. Say for major holidays like Christmas, for example, the number of visits drops significantly between November and April. Neuschwanstein Castle is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Germany and Europe, being visited by over 1.5 million people each year. So, is it worth being on your travel list? As they say in German, wir sehen uns wieder, which means see you again.